Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Iowa soccer supporters. I'm Ben Brackett, your Soccer Talk co-host this evening without my buddy Blake Sievers. Instead, I've got his goalkeeping coach replacement, Weston McPhee. Weston, an expert on the goalkeepers and also a good friend of the pod. Weston, welcome.
I don't know about expert, but
well, compared to Blake, we're going with experts.
All
so
right. I'll accept it. I guess.
All right,
for now.
good. And we know that Blake's got some duties tonight with his goalkeeping coach responsibilities for his U11 team, so we just wanted to make sure we had like-for-like replacement. And so then center back here, we've got Matthew Sahag leading the charge as the Titan tactician, bringing us all the analysis. Matthew, hello.
Hey, what's up? It's getting it's getting a little heated here back here, isn't it, Ben?
Well, Matt's got
3 minutes left.
Yeah, 3 minutes left.
We're on the field here at MediaCom Stadium here at the Drake University campus. We've been watching soccer all day. We watched the 1A semifinals earlier today, and now we're wrapping it up with the 2A semifinal. We've got 2.5 minutes left between Gilbert and
Webster City.
I just couldn't read that, and I was like, is that correct? I don't have my glasses on. But anyway, so we'll get to that here shortly, and you may hear some celebrations potentially, and maybe we'll react, but let's talk 1A quick. So noon o'clock, we had Van Meter against Iowa City Regina. Van Meter state finalists last year, but ended up losing to North Fayette Valley, who they beaten in the first round this year. Van Meter on the road to revenge. Matthew, what'd you think?
I mean, great win by Van Meter. They're in the 5th year of their program. They've now been back to the state tournament for the 2nd year in a row. Like you said, they lost in the final last year. But they look like they're poised and ready to go for the final here on Friday, right? So huge win for them today. It was great. We were standing right down here on the field as they closed out the game. They were up 1-0 at halftime. And so it was one of those games where all they had to do is not concede, and they got the job done. So I think when we talked to the boys, they were basically, hey, that last 10, 15 minutes was just about finishing out the game. And we know the coaching staff pretty well, but we were like 10 yards for them, right? You'd look one way, and then you look back at the coaches, and the coaches were really they were kicking every ball.
I was going to say, it was like they were playing the game, weren't they? They were kind of running up and down the sideline.
I think I saw Jonah head one at one point. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, they were having fun, loving life.
Super fired up. And then over here you had all the ADs, so there's everyone's in the Van Meter kit, right? And so then when they won, the atmosphere was awesome, kind of like we're here right now. And I was going to say,
if you're talking about atmosphere, MediaCom is where it's at. You can hear it right now. We're coming in the last minute or so of this game
40
here
seconds
for the
left here.
The 2A second semifinal, Gilbert and Webster City. So that 1A game, though, great game. Van Meter, I say that.
Go.
My. Maybe some action. We're so bad at this. Sorry.
We actually want to watch the game instead of doing this interview right now.
Well, we're trying to keep it going. So Van Meter, though, exacting their revenge, getting to the state final game, and they're going to have a really tough test against West Sioux from way up in the northwest. I think West Sioux is Sioux City, right? They're basically Sioux Falls. They're that far north and west. And West Sioux took on, and I'm just getting rattled by all the noise.
Hudson. They played Hudson. And we had fans come by and correct us where West Sioux was at.
That's correct.
And we're like, oh, are you Sioux City? And they're like, no, we're 30, 45 minutes away from there.
Well, I'm I wish we could test our listeners on where's Hudson? Do you guys know where that is?
Right.
That's Cedar Falls.
I would have said
Waterloo
Minnesota.
Area. Yeah. So we're learning as city boys here in Des Moines. But that West Sioux matchup, Van Meter, I think that's going to be a tough one for Van Meter because Van Meter's big, strong, fast, and that West Sioux team is small, technical, a pass and move team.
Yeah, and if you remember the second goal, we were watching it. Really good goal from distance for West Sioux, right? The one thing I'll say is that West Sioux sat super deep. You remember that? I mean, we would see their opponent, who was Regina.
Oh no, West. Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, as they were attacking, it was like, where is West Sioux? And they were sat so deep that but then they would actually just take care of like whatever the counterattack was. But it'll be interesting to see how Van Meter plays that, because I think if Van Meter sits their front two as deep as West Sioux plays, they may be able to play, some balls into their strikers and penetrate really early and maybe threaten the goal super early. I saw a couple of passes that they played in really nice into the striker, back into Lounsbury, who's one of their midfielders. There's two Lounsbury brothers, and I think one of them got the goal actually for Van Meter. But it'll be interesting how they play that. Again, West Sioux plays super deep. I think if Van Meter stays disciplined and keeps their depth, they can get the ball in threatening areas often. And so we'll see what happens. So I picked Van Meter. I know Blake picked Van Meter. You didn't. You were dead wrong.
I'm gonna go. I said I'd pick Van Meter again, but then I watched West Sioux, and I really like the number 7.
So who are you picking? You picking West Sioux?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm gonna do it.
So brackets going West Sioux. I've got Van Meter. I think
West Sioux is more technical, and I think they've got the player of the tournament in 1A, which is Oscar Robles. I think that's number 7. And maybe I'm wrong because I haven't been wearing my glasses today. But there was a young player. I think it was number 7 again.
Yeah, number 7. Yeah.
He was doing the things, and I really liked it. I think that he might be the game maker. But I also said that the leading goal scorer from the other team was going to have it. So here we are.
All right. Well, we'll see. Like, I like Van Meter. I think some of the little things matter, like just like some desire, some competitive edge. As I look to the bench today, I think they've got just that. And Van Meter, I mean, they wanted that today, and they sort of willed their way to the 1-0 victory. And so I think they've got the edge in the final.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out, and I can't wait for Pat to just be mad at me again for picking against him. I love you, Pat, and I love you, Jonah, but I think that West Sioux might have you. Yeah. And you guys are going to be double runner-ups, and then next year is going to be real feisty. They're going to want that win. We got a little Iowa soccer legend here walking behind us. We got Bonnie Larson. Give her a little shout. She's not going to see us. Hey, Bonnie. If anybody's refereed before or played soccer, I guess they probably know Bonnie.
Definitely.
Bonnie's the best.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's talk 2A real quick. We just watched the Gilbert boys come out 1-0 victors over the Webster City, and I don't know what's their mascot?
Lynx.
The Lynx.
What is a lynx?
That's right. Like a cat, like a.
Oh, Lynx. OLYNX.
Yes, that's right.
Like the WNBA team.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well played. So Tigers over the Lynx. Tigers are bigger than Lynx, so I guess that only stands to reason. And Gilbert, I think this is really good because we've been kind of hanging around Medicom all day and watching, and I think we just know Gilbert as a strong team, a physical team, and a winning team, right? They've done pretty well over the past few years that we've been covering the game. Bishop Heelan, also super strong team on the other side of the bracket, who has, Matt's getting a call. He's not, he is going to answer it here. So we're going to go ahead and keep talking. Shocking from our Titan tactician. This is why we're
important
watching.
guy, very important guy.
Let's go YouTube here. Like, this is our plug. Check us out on YouTube. Because shocking. Here, he's back. Hello, Matthew.
One of our correspondents is getting his ride home, so I'm trying to coordinate, Ben.
That's what we're here for. Kick it forward. So we're talking 2A. We're talking about how Gilbert was big, strong, physical team, and it was going to be really interesting because we just watched them win 1-0 against
Webster City.
Sorry, I'm just getting all I'm getting all flustered. There's so much going on, and so then they're going to play against Sioux City Bishop Heelan, who has been bombarding us on our social media that we are underrating them, and I think we kind of might be, but I kind of like it also because they're getting back at us. But what do we think?
Totally. So we had players in the team find us this evening.
Yep.
And come talk to us about that. And they were the same players who were dropping into the direct message DMs, right? Into the DMs. And so they actually were assertive enough to come talk to us about like some of their thoughts about the games and stuff, and I love that. So it's going to be Heelan versus Gilbert in the 2A final. I think it's going to be an awesome final. I think we all picked Gilbert, right?
We did.
I'll tell you, I mean, Heelan boys, I love your sort of your assertiveness in terms of coming and talking to us, but I still have Gilbert based on what happened here tonight. I hope you prove me wrong. I will tell you that I've picked finals incorrectly in the last
excellent at picking incorrectly.
2 years in a row in 4A. I've picked against Johnston for 2 years in a row, so if I'm picking against Heelan, it's probably to your advantage in 2A. But I think I've got Gilbert going into the final tomorrow.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and Weston. Do you want to agree with him or disagree? I've been trying to do some research as we go.
So,
we're not great at this.
I don't know too much about Heelan, other than they've been in state semifinals year after year after year. And I've coached against Gilbert before as an assistant at Lincoln, and it's different from a 2A team to a 4A team. And I thought that they played above their means. I'm going to go the same with Matt. I think Gilbert has the upper hand.
I love this.
Their shape is really nice in possession. I think this game that they just played is a really good example of what's going to happen for the 1A game with West Sioux and Van Meter, because Webster City sat really deep. Gilbert had possession. They'd lose the ball in the final third. They regain it, and then they'd play it back to their center back, swing it back around. They'd want to keep the ball and go for high percentage chances. They just looked like they were all together. They knew what they're going to do. They're experienced. Heelan is experienced too, but I just have that familiarity with Gilbert, and I give them the nod in the final.
Fair enough. Now, I'm just going to buck the trend, and because the boys convinced me earlier, I think Sioux City Bishop Heelan, they're my new 2A pick, and I love being able to repick. That's so nice, because that's the same thing that the association's doing, right? They get to repick.
Yeah, reseed everybody.
So I get to reseed myself. So you've got the number 9, Sergio, I think it's Mijangos, maybe. I don't judge me here, but he's got 42 goals on the year. And then you've got Andres Gonzalez, also a senior. He's got 24 assists and 20 goals. Like 20 goals and 24 assists is an absurd stat line. So I think this is a squad. Gonzalez had 3 assists tonight and a goal. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. So this is beautiful too, because now we're about to wrap up. We're going to chat with the Gilbert boys because they're coming off for a little presser. I don't know, man. We're up for a really beautiful Friday afternoon here at MediaCom Stadium. We're going to get to watch Gilbert, Bishop, Sioux City Heelan in the 2A, and then 1A we're going to see Van Meter take on West Sioux. Both games, super contrasting styles, super well-achieving teams all year. So I think we're in for a great day. And then who knows? I mean, 3A and 4A tomorrow. I'm so pumped. Is that just
a lot of local teams coming around.
It's going to be a lot of action, and then Friday's going to be just a great day. Girls action tomorrow too. Check it out up in Ames. We're going to have coverage all day because our man over here, Ethan, sorted it out. So we're going to have video all day. Weston McPhee, thank you for playing left back this evening / goalkeeping expert.
Also right-footed.
Yeah, right-footed. Everybody needs to be a right-footed left back. There's no left-footed left backs here. Matthew, left-footed center back. Thank you.
Yep.
Titan tactician, and we'll sign off and see you tomorrow. Can't wait.